Hi there, as we welcome you to episode 3 of the 1939 Ford truck restoration. Now, probably first thing you're going to say, where's my tray back gone? Well, basically it's in here and out there. What we did a little while ago between obviously my last video and this one was, well, I just had a weekend up here and I just had everything all unbolted on the tray back, and I just decided to just strike while the iron was hot and get my tractor and lift it up. Showing you more of the angle, obviously it's gone. It took a little bit of a varying degree of success and a little bit of lift here, jig there, lift here, jig there. But I did actually get some footage of it, so let's go back in time. I'll take you there, show us lifting the tray back of the truck. All right, nuts undone underneath. Let's get our ratchet straps on and get this bad boy off. Plainly, going one or two ways this can go. Spectacles, testicles. Wish me luck. Well, say it plainly, should have gone to Specsavers. So I tried to hook onto this bar here. What I didn't see is the fact that cross brace are these two bolts here. That's why the truck was rolling when I was undoing it. So up there and over there, and hopefully take two is the right one. All right, back brace off. Wish me luck. Something I haven't done. I'm going to have to rejig this exercise. Oh well, let's call that somewhat successful. Sometimes it's a classic when you look at a big picture, you don't notice the small details. Yeah, probably because it can't roll in and out. Sometimes you can do it the right and wrong way, but we're pretty okay with that. Well, suppose the journey you think you're going to take versus what actually happens are two separate things. So there we go, one tray back off, and yeah, I was trying to be really conservative, but the problem is it's sort of to roll the truck in and out constantly. And also it's sort of more timbers like that, which is rotted to pieces. But that's okay. It's not to say that this is necessarily a disaster. I mean, what is the way to get there? And ultimately the goal was to remove the tray back, which, ta-da, it has, which now has conveniently revealed some corrosion. Yeah, not quite the Flintstones mobile, but pretty to it. And I suppose, having a look at my chassis, she's fairly strong. Don't be fooled by all the mess and gunk. That's just the way it rolls. You can clean this up fairly easy. Yeah, a bit of corrosion in there. But aside from that, still a good candidate. Probably twisted it a little bit out the back because, yeah, what I was thinking is those U-bolts that went all the way up, thought they would do the job, and I thought the back brace was just on the tray back. But it wasn't until trying to lift this, it sort of lifted, and yeah, it kind of bent my railings a little bit. Yeah, I think I better do something about that pile of timber. Talking about where we left off from the last time we did this, we're trying to beaver away at the front end of our truck. Probably one of the things was the annoying screws. Like there, we do have a proper angle grinder this time. Bit of progress here. What's missing from here? Well, it is the, I suppose you could call them, I don't know, engine panels. I suppose I used to go there. Took a bit of a while to get there because it's on this beer barrel here, there was obviously that really seized bolt and that screw with absolutely no head to it whatsoever. But having a look here, if we undo this screw here at the top of the rad, go through Grandad's very elegant welding, I'm pretty confident we could get all this off in one go. This is all a little bit of a journey of discovery, and I guess it's sort of the whole not going gung-ho and just ripping things apart, but yeah, bit of method, but you just have to slowly explore it as you go. Obviously, whoop, wrong way. Yeah, you can see how it's all bolted together, but this ute has clearly seen the ass of something. Look how bent that panel is. Look at the weld there. This one wasn't too bad, but no, this poor side, she got a little bit cross-eyed. But anyway, upshot is she's all front end apart. Another tiny thing to show if anyone's doing a Ford truck restoration, and this is how I learned between the two episodes that this is a 39. That little fuse box here, that hides this number. There you go. And a little screw, sorry, frustrating with showers and all that. But yeah, it starts with the number 9. So that's how we know this is a 1939 example. And as I say, if you can imagine, the fuse box was covering it like that. So if you come to find what your body number is and all, it might have to come with just taking something off to find it. Moving on now, we're going to try and see what we can do to get these front fenders off. It's just sort of things like a bracket down there, not 100% sure what's along the chassis rail in the engine bay. While we get underneath, there's a few bolts. Yep, you got 4 sort of bolts up there. Then you've got behind the chassis around there where I've WD-40'd it. Yeah, 6 bolts. They should all come off as one. I'll tell you the one thing I love more than anything at the moment is the sweet smell of rat dung. But anyway, the only upshot is a 1/2 incher. Whoops. But anyway, the upshot is one undone, 2 undone, three undone, and 4. lovely doubliness, though. Obviously under here, you've got 3 bolts on this plate. Where is it? Yeah, there you are. Yeah, over there. I'm looking forward to undoing one of these bolts. Look how corroded that nut is. And then you've got, by the looks of things, 2 more nuts and bolts sort of further up. And then you've got this little brace down there. Onwards. Now, it gets to a point sometimes in projects when you haven't worked on them for a while, it's sort of trying to redo the motivation and look, sort of doing a big swim and trying to rejig that and get remotivated. And sometimes you get to the point where you run out of charge with your torch. You get distracted on other things that you haven't done for a while because you're on a block that you haven't been on a while, and then you get to the job that you did try to get to at the start, which was that, because obviously you sort of coughed at the line just last time, but then you got to keep going, and then you get that one frustrating fastener. I'll show you, and I would show you, but it's, where is it? Right up in there. It's because, see, this is what I mean, I'm out of torchlight. Oh, one bolt head. Did it have anything to it? No, of course it didn't. Because my sort of goal is that I want to sort of try and take this whole side fender off as one, and I'll try and show it, but there's like a little, if I can go on nice and close, if you can see it, which I don't think you can, but yeah, whatever. A screw. Because I've sort of gone some of the way this time, I'll sign off this episode for today, but then guess what? When we come back, we're going to get that side fender off, and I'll show you how we do the other one. And this is part 2, and probably not a hell of a lot has changed from when we left off. So I guess without further ado, let's do this bolt, let you know how we get on. What are we up against here? Well, basically that one bolt that wants to play silly buggers. That, yeah, we're trying to see if we can sort of undo it, but probably what I'm going to have to do is use my baby grinder, and also notice our torch is working, and that rusty bolt that doesn't have a head, that's my problem child. Jog on. Well, me oh my oh my. I didn't even have to bother with that son of a bitch, excuse the French. Just lift it all up. Jiggle here, jiggle there, and that's our panel. Just your ladder chassis right there. And that long panel, that was obviously the fender and side skirt. But having a look, it's not too shocking underneath. My goal was to sort of try and have all this in one piece. I know it looks a bit sorry for itself on the side, but hopefully from there, because of doing this, I'm able to break pieces apart and fabricate them individually. Just to show you what I'm on about, imagine this was along the chassis beam, like that. So those 3 bolts, they bolt up, and then you've got these 4 bolts there that are up on the running board. And then along here you had your 1 bolt and 2 that sort of go to the cab itself, and then you have bolt there, and it's adjusted at the front. That's how it all bolts together. Now the temptation is I sort of want to do the other side. And sit rep as we wrap up. We have the second fender that's come off. You wouldn't believe it, along the chassis rail here, there were two, well, round bolts that couldn't undone. I tried to shear them off, but anyway. And then there's that one bolt. Yep, right there. Grr, and did that little baby grinder try and get it off? No. But anyway, that'll come off, and then once that's off, we can try and get some engine numbers. I've tried to sort of put some WD-40 there to try and expose the number there, but as you say, man, it looks almost a bit like a hot rod. Not much to it when you pull them apart. So in terms of wrapping up now, it's kind of a bit interesting when you sort of start pulling it apart more and more and more, and you're like, oh geez, we got there. I suppose the next thing is, well, cab off, I suppose. That's probably going to be a jolly big assignment and probably a bit nerve-wracking. I may have to phone some friends on this one. But anyway, that's the front of it falling apart. And just thanks for tuning in. Hope you learned something. Keep awesome. We'll see you next time.